Hey everybody, and welcome back to Vuln Vibes. It's WP Save Time, the part of the show where we dig into making sure that your WordPress site is as secure as it can be.
Keeping it safe.
And today we are going to be diving into a WordPress vulnerability report.
Ooh, hot off the presses.
Fresh off the presses.
Yeah.
So think of this as your daily security briefing,
Oh.
so that you're not caught with your pants down
You got it.
when something bad happens. And you're
Right.
like, oh, I wish I knew about that.
Hmm.
We've got 4 plugins in our sites today,
4 big ones.
all with vulnerabilities that were discovered today.
Yeah.
So if you are using any of these plugins, you're going to want to pay close attention.
Yeah, you really are.
So let's get started with the first one, WP Book It.
WP Book It.
This is a popular plugin for managing bookings,
Yeah.
but there is a flaw in its file upload system,
Oh.
which is kind of like leaving the door to your site open.
Yeah, a little bit ajar.
Just a crack. So anyone could come waltzing in. So tell me a little bit more about the technical details of this vulnerability.
Sure. So we're looking at WP Book It versions up to and including 1.6.9.
Okay.
And the problem is in a function called WPB_profile_controller, and then 2:handle_image_upload.
All right.
And this function should only allow image uploads,
Right.
but it's not doing a good job of checking what's coming in.
So it's just assuming that everything is an image and it's not doing any validation.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
Like-
like, oh, file. Okay, cool. Come on in.
Okay.
So instead of just pictures, like if you have vacation rentals or something,
Right.
instead of just pictures of that, you might have something a lot less picturesque coming in.
Like a beautiful back door.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we're talking about the possibility of malicious files being uploaded,
Right.
and that could lead to something called remote code execution.
Wow.
And that's a big deal because it means an attacker could take control of your entire site.
Yikes. Yeah, that's not a reservation I want. All right. So if you are using WP Book It, make sure that you update as soon as possible
Yeah, seriously.
to the latest version. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ThemeRex add-ons.
Ooh, ThemeRex add-ons.
So this plugin is it's packed with features.
I mean, who doesn't love features?
Everybody loves features.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it also has a vulnerability.
Come on.
And this one is a little bit sneakier.
Okay.
It's called local file inclusion.
Local file inclusion. Okay.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this one.
So this one affects all versions of ThemeRex add-ons up to and including 2.33.0.
Right.
And it all comes from this thing called ThemeRex_reviews shortcode.
Yeah.
And the good news is that exploiting this requires an attacker to be logged in, at least with contributor level permissions.
Okay, so it's not just like somebody can come in off the street and exploit this.
No. They have to have at least contributor level access.
Okay.
But if someone with the right access can manipulate the type attribute in that shortcode, they could trick your server into including and executing files.
Oh, so it's like they're using a key to one room,
Right.
but then they figure out a way to use that key for the entire house.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's like you're letting them have a little bit of access,
Yeah.
but then they find a way to escalate their privileges and get access to everything.
Yeah, so that's not
I
good.
said it.
Not good at all.
So what are some of the things that an attacker might be able to do if they were able to exploit this vulnerability?
Well, they could bypass security measures.
Oh.
They could access sensitive data,
Oh, no.
or even execute code on the server.
Yeah.
So it can turn a seemingly helpful plugin into a really serious security risk.
Oh, boy. Okay, so ThemeRex add-on's another one to add to the list to update.
Definitely.
All right, let's move on to the third one here. Import WP.
Import WP.
Okay.
A very useful plugin.
Oh, yeah, it's great for importing and exporting data.
Right. Sounds innocent enough, but guess what?
Right.
It's got a vulnerability. It's got a vulnerability to sensitive information exposure.
Sensitive information exposure. Okay.
So tell me more.
All versions up to and including 2.14.5 are affected.
Okay.
And basically the problem is insecure data storage. So think user information, local files, all that stuff you don't want in the wrong hands.
Right.
It's not stored securely.
Okay.
So an attacker, without even logging in, could potentially access this data,
Yikes.
which is bad.
That's really bad.
It's like posting your diary online instead of just showing it to your best friend.
Right.
You don't want that.
So import WP, another one to add to our list
Update.
of plugins to update. And finally, number 4,
Okay, the final boss.
the final boss for today, Custom Product Tabs Lite for WooCommerce.
Okay.
So this is a plugin that lots of people use who have online stores.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's also got a vulnerability.
Oh, what is it?
This one is called PHP object injection.
PHP object injection.
Okay.
So explain what that is.
So this one affects all versions up to and including 1.9.0. Okay.
And it happens through a parameter called first_woo_product_tabs.
It's a mouthful.
I know, right? So basically, an attacker can inject malicious PHP objects through this parameter.
Okay.
But in order to do this, they need shop manager level access.
Okay, so they already have to be pretty deep in your system.
Yeah, they've already bypassed the front door. They're rummaging through your kitchen cabinets.
Looking for the cookies.
Exactly. And if something called a POP chain exists.
A POP chain?
Yeah, POP chain, it stands for property-oriented programming.
Okay.
And if that exists, things can go from bad to worse pretty quickly.
Uh-oh.
We're talking arbitrary file deletion sensitive data retrieval.
No.
And even code execution.
Yeah, that sounds bad. So let's recap what we talked about today. We talked about WP Bookit ThemeX add-ons.
Yep.
Import WP and custom product tabs Lite for WooCommerce. If you are using any of these plugins,
Many of them.
make sure that you update to the latest version today.
Like right now.
As soon as possible, so that you don't get caught with any of these vulnerabilities. All right, anything else to add?
Yeah, just remember, this is just a snapshot of the security challenges out there.
Right.
So the best way to protect your site is to stay informed, keep everything updated, and always be cautious about what you install and who has access.
Good advice. All right, thanks everyone for tuning to Vuln Vibes, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.